Well, Lagos State is home to 18 million people, but it faces a looming food security crisis with a growing population, increasingly dependent on imported foods and battling to deal with a lack of investment. So for a look at some of those plans and strategies, the problems there, dealing with food sustainability and security challenges, we're joined by Golahan Lawal, Lagos State Commissioner for Agriculture and Cooperatives. Good evening to you, Mr. Lawal. You must have the toughest job in Nigeria, a mega city in effect of 18 million people. You've got to feed them and you've got to distribute the food, and it's quite a job. How well are you doing it?
Well, thank you very much for the question. I want to first say that the population of Lagos is over 20 million. So it's better I let you know that. The provision of food for over 20 million Lagosians is an Herculean task, and we have a lot of strategic and policies in place to reduce our dependence on food in Lagos. As a matter of fact, we produce less than 10% of what we consume. As like every other developing states, it's difficult to be food self-sufficient. Food security, yes, we are sure of food security, but food self-sufficiency is not something that we are there yet. But we already have strategic programs in place. We have introduced a lot of projects and programs to reduce our dependence on imported food, such as our ability to reduce youth unemployment, bringing our youth into agriculture. We have started by introducing about 820 youth graduate farmers into the business of agriculture. We have given them skills, technical skills, and we have also made them to believe that they are the world-class agro-entrepreneurs. We are giving them entrepreneurial skill, which has made agriculture very, very attractive to them, and at the same time rewarding. And because of the landmass that we have in Lagos, we know we have limited land for agricultural purposes, because we also have contending demand for land in terms of real estate. But in Lagos, we are focused on those areas where we have competitive and comparative advantages. That is livestock, fisheries, vegetable, rice, and cassava. Those are the areas we focus on in Lagos, and we have also reformed our agricultural land holding authority to be able to enact accessible, cultivable land for agricultural purposes. And we are not doing it alone. We are working with the private sector, because we believe, in as much as we are government, we are meant to intervene to make the environment very, very robust and very enduring for
Mr. Lawal,
farmers.
if I could just come in there to interrupt you. How much agricultural land is available to you? So I suppose what I'm asking here is land available and resources available, but you're not farming the land. So what is the potential for you to feed yourself more as opposed to importing? And what's blocking that?
Well, actually, we know where we are strong. You know, we are making use of our existing water bodies. 22% of our land mass is water, and we are making use of the water efficiently and effectively well. The cultivable land that we have in Lagos is 3,000, over 3,000 square meters, over 3,000, between 300 and 350 square meters for cultivable land. And as I speak, we have made provision for about 5,000 land in those areas where we have competitive and comparative advantages, and those are the livestock. We have developed estates for these enterprises, and as government, we are supporting our farmers with facilities. We have provided them with infrastructural support, and we also give our farmers inputs, almost at 25% subsidy in certain areas, and almost 70% grant in certain areas, especially when it comes to input. is 70%. And when it comes to infrastructure, it's 100% for our willing farmers and existing farmers.
I was going to say, you've got
the challenge we are still facing.
If you're, sorry, Mr. Lawal, if you're growing the food and you're able to increase the number of people working on the land, that's the one aspect. The other is in a mega city where you have infrastructure, road, rail issues, what condition is the infrastructure in terms of getting the food to where you want it to be?
We have agricultural zones in the states. And those are the areas where we produce. And because of the limitations we are having with land, we have even looked beyond our borders. We are in our neighboring states where land issue is not a problem. As a matter of fact, we have 1,000 hectares in Osun State. We have 500 hectares in Ogun State. And we have over 100 hectares in Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory. And we are also in discussion with other states for about 10,000 hectares of land. So that crops that we cannot conveniently or efficiently grow in Lagos, we offshore. And we bring them back to Lagos. After harvest, we bring them back to Lagos so that we can reduce the food price volatility that often come with shortage of food. You know, once we can settle the problems of food security, we will be able to settle a whole lot of other social issues. We will be able to create jobs. We'll be able to create jobs for the youth. We'll also be able to create jobs for the rural people, because 70% of the people in the rural area depend on agriculture. And in the last 6 years, the Lagos State Administration of Babatunde Raji Fashola, SAN, has been able to stem food insecurity. And more people now coming. We are making sure they have the capacity to, in terms of capacity building, we give them capacity, and we also give them input regularly. And we are not only supporting the production end, we are using the value chain approach. That is production, processing, transportation, and the market. Market has always been a major issue in terms for farmers, but we have created Eco Farmer Smart. Eco Farmer Smart is likened to the cooperative foods that we have in England and some other developed economies, where farmers will just produce and they have a standing market waiting for them.
Mr. Lawal, I'm afraid we have to stop
there.
Mr. Lawal, sorry, I do have to interrupt you there. It is a fascinating discussion of a massive subject, the provision of food in Lagos State. That was Golohan Lawal, who is Lagos State Commissioner of Agriculture and Cooperative.